Welcome back to Let's Get Cooking. I am Rashida, bringing you dishes from my kitchen to yours. Love to cook, love to bake, and I love sharing it with you all. All right, today I'm going to be sharing my rotini pasta, just like spaghetti, just using a different pasta, rotini with the meat sauce. All right, this is simple, easy. Let's get started. Want to start off by, of course, cooking my ground beef, cooking that well. You can definitely use maybe Italian sausage, ground chicken, ground turkey, in place of the ground beef. So I have like a 90% lean cut of ground beef or ground sirloin actually. And I'm just going to cook this until it's completely done, completely browned. And that'll take me a few minutes, about 5 to 7 minutes. And while I'm doing that, I am going to season because you know me, we flavor from the start, we flavor from the bottom up. So I'm just putting a little bit of seasoned salt on this, garlic powder, and I believe a little bit of pepper. Not too much, but we need to have some seasoning going into this meat. All right, let's get into this rotini pasta. The great thing about spaghetti is you can just play around with the pastas. If you don't want spaghetti, you can change it to rotini. You can change it to linguine. You can change it to whatever pasta you desire. Bow tie pasta. There are so many on the market. So first things first, for my beginning cooks, you want to ground and cook your meat. And that's probably on about a medium heat. Not too high, not too low, just right in the middle. Just a little pre-prep here. I did dice up some onions and sweet peppers to go into this dish. So I'm just adding in my onion and sweet peppers and I'm cooking those in with the meat so they can just cook on down. And it's just probably about a quarter to a third cup of peppers. You can use red, yellow, orange, green, and probably about a third cup of onions. And this is 1 pound of ground beef. And I just want to continue to cook that. Like I said, this probably takes about 5 to 7 minutes in total before it's done. Because my ground beef or ground sirloin is not high in fat, there's not a whole lot of extra oil that I'm going to need to drain. You can drain it if you like. If you're using like a 80-20% ground beef, you're going to definitely need to drain that oil off. But because this is a little bit leaner, it's not that much excess oil. So I'm just going to go ahead and cook that and just leave it in the pan for flavor. And you see how everything is browning and coming together. We're almost there, not quite there. And I'm just going to let that cook. You let it cook for a few minutes and then you stir it and chop it up. So I'm almost at the finish line with the ground beef. Now feel free to leave out the peppers and onions if you don't desire them. I just like to add that in for extra flavor. Tastes really good and you really don't even know they're in there. What I love about this dish, it is quick and easy during the week. So if you need like a midweek meal for your family, for your children, you can prepare this in less than an hour. I would say 30 minutes to an hour. It's all done. And it's great leftovers. Always tastes good the second day too if you still have some leftovers in your kitchen. All right, now that it's almost done, I just want to go ahead and grate in some fresh garlic. I love garlic. I believe garlic, Italian dishes, they are like synonymous. They just go together hand in hand. So I'm just adding in 2 cloves, mincing in 2 cloves of garlic. And this is to taste. I like garlic, so I'm doing 2 cloves of garlic. Now you see I waited to the end after the meat was cooked and added in that garlic, because now I'm about to add in that jar of marinara sauce. And the flavor will just seep into the sauce, that garlic flavor. Or should I say infuse into the marinara sauce. Time to move on to the next step. Now I'm making this easy. We are not making homemade sauce today. I do know how to make it, but today we are just using a jar of sauce from our local store. A jar of your favorite pasta sauce, your favorite spaghetti sauce, whatever you like. You just need one jar. You could have 2 jars if you like extra sauce, 1.5 jars, but I'm using one for today. And just a jar, I have a jar of fresh pasta sauce with basil because I like basil, so I like that basil flavor. But what I'm doing is I'm adding in some Parmesan cheese, some grated Parmesan, just to give it that that extra burst of cheese flavor. And then I'm going to add in some dried oregano and some dried basil. Or if you have like Italian seasoning blend, you can just add some of that in too. Once again, we're just adding flavor, good flavor, not salt, but flavor through the herbs, through the cheese to our sauce. And I'm just going to stir this, mix this very well. Bring it down to a simmer and let it cook for about 20 or 25 minutes while I prepare the pasta. So right now, this is our meat sauce. The meat sauce is coming together. It's almost done. This is how you want your sauce to look. And it's smelling good. The aroma is just hitting. You smell the garlic, you smell the herbs. So yes, it's coming together. All right, time to just simmer this for the next 20-25 minutes. And then I'll be on to preparing the rotini pasta in another pot. You know what? You could drop in the comments, what's your favorite pasta dish? There are so many. Do you like your spaghetti? Do you like your Alfredo? What do you like? Let me know. Drop it in the comments. I have some good Alfredo recipes also. Okay, it's time to prepare the pasta. For my beginner cooks, it's so simple to prepare pasta. You're just going to fill your pot about halfway. I am only using, out of a 16-ounce bag or 16-ounce box of pasta, I'm going to use half of that. Um, and then you just bring that water to a boil, adding salt, because you got to add your flavor. Salt helps to flavor the pasta. So you want to add that at the beginning. And some people say don't add oil to your water, but I do, because I don't want my pasta to stick together. So I just added a tad bit of olive oil into my water, bringing that to a healthy boil. And then I'm going to get ready and add in the pasta. Like I said, I'm only using half the bag because this is 1 pound of ground beef. So you don't need the whole bag of pasta. If it was 2 pounds, then that would be like 2 pounds of meat, 2 jars of sauce, the whole bag of pasta or the whole box of pasta. But I'm only using half of this rotini is what I chose. You definitely can substitute this with just regular spaghetti or whatever pasta you have on hand. Now, you know with pasta, you don't want to overcook it. You just want to get it to its al dente. And that just basically means that it just has a little bit of bite to it. You don't want it real soft and mushy. You want some texture. So it's al dente. So I'm going to just cook this pasta for about 10 minutes. You see my pasta's in the pot. Just giving that a quick stir. Bringing it up to a light boil. And then I'm going to just let that cook for 10 minutes. And then strain it or drain the water off when it's done. So I'll just let you watch the process. I'm sure many of you already know how to prepare pasta, but if you are my beginner cook, this is how you prepare your pasta. And let me know if you have any questions. Okay, so I'm nearing the finish line. You see the pasta now, they have almost doubled in size. That's how you want your pasta to look. That is ready. It looks good. It still al dente, not overcooked. And now I just need to drain the water off. And in the meantime, here's my sauce. And we're going to add the pasta to the sauce. I'm telling you, this is a quick meal. Quick and delicious. How about that combination? And I don't add in all my pasta at once. I just like to see the ratio of sauce to pasta, because I don't want to have too much pasta, because then that'll become dry pasta. So it's a nice ratio or balance that I like to have. So I just add a little bit at a time, and then I'll add a little bit more, and then when it gets to the desired ratio of pasta to sauce, then I'll just mix everything in, turning my pasta sauce off. We don't need to cook this anymore. We are at the finish line, mixing everything together. And this is the rotini pasta, aka spaghetti with rotini pasta. It tastes just like spaghetti. And this is the dish for today. It's coming together. It's looking good. It's smelling good. It's hot, ready to be plated and eaten with some garlic bread, if you like, with a vegetable, of course, or a salad. Great side dish. And stay tuned, because I am making some garlic bread in my next video. And that's just quick. All right, look at that rotini pasta. Looking all good and stuff. It was good. And of course, when I put some on my plate, I added a little extra Parmesan cheese on it. Wish I had some fresh basil, but I didn't. But fresh basil is always good with your pasta dishes. All right, she's finished. Thanks for coming in the kitchen. Thanks for cooking with me today. Please leave any questions that you have in the comments. If you have any comments, please feel free to list those below or comment in below. Until the next video, please like, subscribe, and share. Hit the notification button and keep on coming back. Have a blessed day and a blessed week. See you in the next video. Take care.